It's an honor to be with you today on behalf of the Visiting Nurse Association, Meals on Wheels. And I also want to thank the City of Irvine because they have funded to a great extent our community health workers and also meals in the Irving area, so thank you. I know that you are individually very involved and focused on serving your community, strengthening your community, and I hope I have the perfect service opportunity for you today because there are thousands of Meals on Wheels across the country that you can become involved in. How many are involved in Meals on Wheels locally in your community? So a large amount. So I hope that what I have to share with you today might inspire you, as you've inspired me with maybe a little reset on the love all, serve all, because sometimes that's not so easy on a daily basis, but to wake up and start the day with you all is a wonderful way to try and do a reset with what we are dealing with in our country today. So there are over 5,000 Meals on Wheels across the country. We're all individual nonprofits, and I think some of that, the way it started in this country back in the late 50s, early 60s, is because food safety, you can only deliver so many, so far. So I think for food safety reasons, I think it started out that way. Our organization, Visiting Nurse Association, started in 1934, and the board of directors, we're a nonprofit, decided to adopt the Meals on Wheels that had started back in the 70s, and they were doing 200 meals a day, and we took it over from the Women's Council. Now we're doing over 5,000 meals a day. But across the country last year, those 5,000 Meals on Wheels, they served 2.2 million seniors, 250 million meals. And why? Because nearly 13 million older adults struggle with hunger. And you may have heard the stat in this country that every day 10,000 seniors turn 65 every day, and will for the next couple years. But in 5 years, this country will have 20% of our population over 65. The 85 contingency is the largest, the fastest growing. And in 14 years, we are going to be 25% of our country will be over 65 years old. If you want to take a look at what that means, look at Japan. They're 29% of their population right now is a senior population. So when you think of housing, there's so many opportunities for you, but through Meals on Wheels, certainly there will be many, many opportunities. Last year we served locally 1.7 million meals in Dallas County, and a little bit about Meals on Wheels. So I think it's the perfect expression of love all, serve all, and egoless service, because what you're doing every day is you're sharing a meal at their home. Mainly, to qualify for Meals on Wheels, you have to be homebound, low income. Most people live on their Social Security check. Can you imagine living on $700 or $800 a month to pay for your housing, for your medicine, for everything? So just to show up on that doorstep and provide a bit of yourself and connection. It's not only about food nourishment, it's about spiritual nourishment as well. You've taken the time to connect with another human being, to share a bit of yourself. So every a route in Richardson, Texas. I have in Irving as well, many routes there, but I deliver in Richardson, and it helps reset. Like today is resetting, and hopefully this weekend is resetting for everyone and focusing. That starts out my week, helping me ground myself about what's really important. And it takes all the ego and all the things that I think are so stressful. Did my kid fill out the right application? you're showing up on someone's house who has really nothing, but they have grace and love that they give you back. And it's so evident that that is a real expression of love between two people. And it's I can tell you many stories, but the 107-year-old woman who, African-American woman that started a boarding house in the 30s for African-American musicians because they couldn't go into other hotels. And just living and listening to their lives. Or this last Monday, talking to a grandmother who was worried sick that their grandchild is going to be, supposedly in South Texas at one of the camps. And so she said, but it's not my decision. And it's like, yeah, I know. So, but Meals on Wheels is also more than a meal and more than even the spiritual nourishment. It's a safety net. So you're showing up every day for someone that's isolated. So let me share a situation that happened with one of my Meals on Wheels recipients. So she was an accountant, for her entire life, lives alone, very functional, never went to the doctor. But one morning, she didn't answer the door. Lunchtime, she didn't answer the door. So, which is really unusual. So knock, knock, knock. So, but you could hear something. And so called her emergency contact, which was her daughter, and she said, the key is in the back, go and open the back door and come in the back. And this woman had fallen the night before, spent the night on the floor, fallen and couldn't get up. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it's a reality. And that's not the only thing that's ever happened or that we've been able to help that person. So we let ourselves in and we basically called an ambulance and she is in a rehab as we speak. But I think our missions are very aligned, our goals, just to be part of that is, I hope you'll become involved with us. If you could switch to the next slide, I want to talk about our actual partnership. There's one with, there we are. So as you can tell, we're having a blast. And so we have been connected with the local organization, Dallas Sci Center, we were talking about, it's like, I've been with the VNA 15 years. I think it's been over 30, maybe even 40 years. I don't know how it got started, but thank goodness for that, because what happens, we deliver every day, but on big holidays, all the families come out. On a daily basis, about 50% of the meals are delivered by volunteers, and then the rest are by paid staff, because that's a lot of meals, 5,000 meals. So on Christmas, Thanksgiving, and on Christmas specifically, the center comes out with hundreds of volunteers to basically, they organize the whole event with us, and it's, as my husband said, it's precision in action, and it's very, very organized, very organized. And so we have thousands of, it's all volunteers that show up to pick up the meals and deliver, but you all basically organize it, and then you put the meals in the car, and we have a bag of toiletries and goodies that go out to the folks as well. And so in the morning it starts out with a lovely prayer circle, and then we get really busy for hours. We have media there all day long, and it is it's a blast, and it's also, I wish some of you all could talk, because I think it's obviously, if it's almost 40 years, I think I think it will continue, and so I think it's a wonderful way to talk about a mutually beneficial partnership. So I don't know whether you can volunteer locally or whether you can create. You can do this on your lunch break. You could do it over holidays. You can have your organization connect with your local Meals on Wheels. We're in desperate need of volunteers all the time. So there's lots of opportunity there. So I want to talk about a full circle moment as I close, because I was so moved when this happened. So as you you heard that VNA is not just Meals on Wheels, it's hospice. We're the oldest hospice organization in Dallas, and we take care of and give comfort to those who are passing away, dying, and in their last days of life. Sometimes, it can be 6 months, sometimes it can be a week. But one of the young ladies, again, it's for all ages. We kind of limited the youth sometimes because they were running around with cars. We were worried something would happen. But, older kids come. But over the years, there was one of the kids that was running around and doing the service opportunities and just full of life, just loved her. And she's stuck in my mind forever. So last year, we have a hospice fellowship program in partnership with the local UT Southwestern. Our medical physician basically manages that because she's part-time over there as well. So this young kid is now a doctor. She went to medical school, and she came back, and she's doing a fellowship to learn how to serve those who are on hospice. And so that's not her specialty, but she's doing it as a way to continue to serve others. So I love when you hear the resumes of all of you, it's like, and I did this, and I did this. It's like, you feel like, wow, I've got to do so much more. So you have inspired me to do that, and I hope I've been, given you some thoughts about perhaps looking into your local organization to help love all and serve all. You see, a whole breadth and depth of your community. Thank you so much.